Good morning, folks. We're recording at our Lady of Grace Convent at Monastery in Antigonish County, Nova Scotia. I'm in front here of the beautiful monument erected by Diocese Antigonish on August 28, 2000 in great acknowledgement of the Trappist and Trappist communities. It says from 1824 and 1926. Actually, they came in 1824. This thing is off by 1 year. In grateful recognition of the dedicated prayer, work, and service of the Order of St. Augustine 1938 to 2000, and may God reward them all. One sows, one reaps. And the Maronite monks from 2000 to 2007. Now, this Lady of Grace Convent is the Augustinian sisters. They've been here for 15 years until the nasty thing that happened between the Bishop of Antigonish, the guy called Wayne Joseph Kirkpatrick. They take, and folks, it was very nasty what happened, and they take, and they were told by the provincial prior, I refer to him as Al Capone, up in Chicago now, that takes, and they were promised if they stayed 10 years, they would be deeded the property and the convent and the chapel and the facilities. But they take, and such was the case that after 10 years, 11 years, they said they had to buy it. And with the generosity of many people and hard work and many people giving hard-earned money for a great cause, they take, and the sisters, they're the whole reason for being here. They take, and now they're going back to Rome. Some are gone, and some are still here. And it's up in air what happens now. Let's go back to the beginning a bit. It's the Trappist. And in 1824, here we are, virtually just 15 months away, 15 months away from the year 2024, and that will mark the 200th anniversary of the founding by the Trappist monks. It was late Father Paul Vincent Merle, M-E-R-L-E. That's where Merlin gets his name. And it was some of the early settlers of Merlin were instrumental in leading them to the holy shrine, the holy spring that's at the holy shrine, a short distance from here on the property here of Our Lady of Grace Convent. In fact, Father Merle came over, Father Paul Vincent Merle, and he served as a mission priest in Tracadie and Harborbushy and Arashat and so on, and what eventually became the Diocese of Antigonish. And he was a very dedicated, extraordinary priest and pastor and leader. And he was finished his mission, and he was going back. There was no train. The trains came through here in the 1870s, so no trains yet. I don't even know if the roads were going to have a stagecoach, but by foot and horseback, and somehow he made his way from Monastery to Halifax, and he missed the boat, and that was very fortuitous. He missed his ship going over, so he came back. He made his way back here. And some of the early settlers could be Benoits, descendants of Pierre Benoit, the founder of Tracadie. There's still Benoits in Merlin. Breens, Boyles from Merlin at that time. Wallace for sure, Welches. So some of those early families could be Benoits, Breens, Boyles, Wallaces, Welches, McDonald's. The early families brought Father Merle to the spring that never went dry. The spring never went dry. And that was the genesis of this whole beautiful, lovely, blessed, sacred operation. This is Our Lady of Grace Chapel. See the buildings, orchards, lawns, grounds. There used to be a school here, and there was an auditorium that was used. Okay, and this is some trees and the whole area. Okay, but it's the power of prayer. We live in a world where people want. Everything is me, money, money, money. It's the power of prayer This is the sincerity of these Augustinian sisters. Mother Gloria, and there's several others with her, and they take and the extremely sincere Christian kindness of each and every one of these sisters. And sad to say, since they've been, firstly, good to say, there were several young ladies and a few middle-aged that decided to call God for religious life, devote the rest of their earthly life to God in prayer, in service of others, and they take something that's called in the Catholic Church their vows, and they become sisters fully enrolled in in this case, the Augustinian convent here. And three times I'm aware of a sister dedicating their life to God, and they got called off to Rome. It was like the cattle in the field, which you don't see this morning. If every time they got milk that was taken away from them, they weren't even given the skim milk or something for their calf. A good farmer wouldn't do that. And it's very tough. But anyway, it's a blessed place. It's a wonderful place. We pray to God that there's going to be a future here. There's got to be somehow. Us as mere mortals aren't aware of what's going to happen in the future, but as they say, we're 15 months away. We're 15 months away now from the 200th anniversary of the founding of this blessed, beloved place.